Welcome. Welcome to all of you who are here today, those of you who are joining us now or who are here for the service, friends and neighbors all. We are grateful for this gathering to celebrate the vision of this fountain being installed here at this church. This will be a simple ceremony, beginning with Charly Nelson, who will introduce the Fountain Project and how it connects with our religious faith and values. Then Joe Weinstein, the fountain artist, will share about its history, his vision for the fountain, and its symbolism. And then I will read a poem written by the Reverend Elle Wolf-Muhleck, who could not be here today, in honor of the fountain's creation. Then we will close with a brief ritual to bless the fountain and this congregation.
Morning. Thank you all for staying and coming, being with us on this very special day. Today is the day of our sacred water communion, and it's the perfect day to honor our fountain. And we thank Mother Nature for blessing us with this beautiful weather and the bounties that she bestows upon us. My last congregation, I belonged to a writers group. And when I was in that writers group, I wrote an essay called God is a River. And that's part of my spirituality. I believe that water is the spirit of life. And water comes in many forms. It can be solid, liquid, gas. You can take any shape that it wants. It can fit into any container, any size container it can fit into. Water flows through everything alive on the planet, including us. We are 70% or more water. And it's just amazing. Water also seeks its own level. And that's a constant reminder to me of our seventh principle, the internet-connected web of all existence. Because without water, without the rest of it, we would not be here. So today is very special. I'm going to introduce now our designer and builder of this beautiful fountain. It's created for us. But Joe had the foresight to install the fountain by the sidewalk. So not only is it our fountain, it's the world's fountain. And we appreciate that. So now my friend and colleague, Joe Weinstein.
This morning when I woke up 2 minutes after the alarm didn't go off, I decided to tell a story to begin with briefly about a dog. And then when I heard during the service, Reverend Kristina gave a parable that included a dog, I said, I have to do it. So in Michigan, 71, 72, before I got married, my now ex-wife Sue had some friends, John and Elaine LeGrand, and they had a dog. And that dog was well known for his playing with water. They lived on a hill. When I went to visit them, and they would turn the water on as a trickle, and that dog had spent so much time forcing the water down the hill. It was his thing. And so every time I get a little swell head about making fountains, I just remember something that a beaver or a dog could do. So I've been a fountain artist for 37 years, and in that time I've had several very big breaks. At different times, depending on my form of spirituality, what religion I was in, I would consider it either a blessing from God or serendipity or just good luck. Different times in my life, I was Jewish and Jehovah's Witness before I discovered Unitarian Universalism. So without a doubt, our Hope Fountain here today is a really big break for me. Like many artists, I've tried just about every possible means to get people to hear about my work and see it. Or it's networking, marketing. Nowadays, we have the World Wide Web. So I do have the website, I have social media, Facebook, and just recently, YouTube channel, and even Instagram. But in my 30 years association with 5 different UU congregations, you can bet that everyone quickly knew that Joe Weinstein makes fountains. That's whether they liked the style of my fountains or not. They knew what I did. My clients, consider the patrons of my art, really do get it. We connect. I believe they sense my love of nature that I put into the fountains, the natural, beautiful rock formations like out west, the moving water in its various forms, springs, waterfalls, rivers, rolling sand boils, and geysers. That brings me to our longtime church member, Marty Cardinal. We met a couple of years ago when I first joined the church. She came to my home to see my fountain garden studio where I have 20 some odd fountains on display, not just once, but twice, helping me come up with the design for the fountain. And she donated funds, and that inspired another anonymous donor to make a contribution as well. And then the board of trustees decided to accept their gifts and commission the Hope Fountain. It was in early November 2020. I was given an ample budget, a blank canvas here on the campus of the church, and I ran with it. Completed in mid-March 2021. So here we have in the center, in the middle, what I call the flowing chalice. That's my take on the flaming chalice, the well-known UU symbol. And then below it, to the north, there's a pond that's sunken in that has 2 twin sand boils that roll, kind of like a lava lamp, something that I could sit and look at for hours. They're so mesmerizing. And then in the center, above the sand boils, below the chalice, there's the 3 bubbling springs that remind me of the Trinity debate, without which there wouldn't have been a Unitarian church. And then the peaceful river flowing out into the world. And often as we make something, an artist, or if you plaster a ceiling, I remember laying in bed and looking up and I would see things, like a skating woman. And there's other things that have just materialized in my work unintended. And people see it and say, do you see that? And so at the top, I see kind of a cosmic or a space creature with his arm up, like in the 4th position, a dancer, cosmic dancer, a whirling dervish. So at the top, it was very important to me to not have just a flat back. I wanted to have the water going in both directions at the same time, looking back at into the future and to the back towards our memorial garden. Also makes me think of the African word Sankofa, which is a symbol of a bird with its head turned backwards while the feet are carrying it forward, and in its mouth is a precious egg. So that makes me think of the Universalism, which this was originally a Universalist church. It taught me to see the beauty and take lessons from all the various religions. To think about things that I may have left behind in my religious journey that are still important to me. Today, if I had to take a label on spiritually, I would say I was a spiritual humanist. But still, certain Bible verses really speak to me. For example, Galatians 5:22 and 23. On the other hand, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faith, mildness, and self-control. In 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13, now, however, there remain 3, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. For me, you could just sum it up with the 7 Unitarian Universalist principles and the 6 sources, which if you're not familiar with, you can go to uua.org. And the first Unitarian principle, which we covenant to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Or you could sum it up with the phrase, just be kind. And I'd like to read off a list, in case I forget or miss, of those that helped make the fountain possible. Our Reverend Kristina Spaude for encouraging us to view our church grounds as an outdoor sanctuary during this time of COVID-19 closure. The entire church board of trustees who commissioned the fountain. Other church leaders, Kathy Hopkins, Charly and Jean Nelson, Ann Rainey, Jim McGoffin, Dave Cutler, Dimitri Hernandez, Greg Rosasco, Barbara Kostreva, Barbara Kataka, and Elle Wolf-Muhleck, who was responsible for the shells that you see embedded in the fountain. I was talking about the design with her. She said she thought shells would be lovely, and I agreed. It was one of my favorite books. Soon after I left the Jehovah's Witness was The Gift from the Sea by Anne Morrow Lindbergh. It was a great little book. And then Jenny Cardinal and Laura Bratslaw were the daughters of Marty Cardinal. And of course, my partner, wherever he is, John Ferguson, put up with a lot while the fountain was being built. And an honorable mention to Johnny, our neighbor, and his dog Tigray, because they were walking by and they helped move some of the pieces. And also Peter Lontakis Electrical, because they put a lot of work into digging the electric for us. Our Hope Fountain is dedicated to the use and enjoyment of the entire community, as already been stated. To church members, our neighbors, and anyone who wants to drop in and sit a while and take time for a peaceful moment of reflection. By the way, Marty Cardinal, how many here knew Marty? Well, we know she also spearheaded the 5 Smooth Stones, the Butterfly Garden up the hill, and she passed away before the fountain was finished. I worked as hard as I could. Those who knew her well are certain that her spirit delights in knowing the fountain will flow and bring the light to many. And please notice, as was pointed out inside, even getting into the social media, I put where the river joins the first pond was a little laminated sticker with my QR code for my new Instagram account. And there you can learn about some of my other named fountains like Serenity, Tranquility, Harmony, and Heart. So, closing words, I call my work Patio Paradise Fountain. And 3 years ago, 2018, I did my first YouTube video and I called it Overview. It's about my career. And I ended this way. Paradise means different things to different people. Paradise to me is something we each contribute to in our lifetime. Exciting adventures await us. Thank you.
This is Fountain Reflections by Reverend Elle Wolf-Muhleck. Flowing water splashing into roughened bowls, reminders of ever-moving moments, effortlessly connecting. Stone, ground, earth, and transparent light, effortlessly connecting. Remnants of sea days and transplants now growing here, effortlessly connecting. Joyful laughter echoing with soulful reflection, effortlessly connecting. Our yesterdays, todays, and tomorrows, effortlessly connecting the eternal flame to the divine mystery. In the spirit of effortlessly connecting to ourselves, to one another, and to the divine mystery, I am going to pour our water from our water ritual that we held just a few moments ago during the service. It is a blessing for all of us as individuals and as a community, expressing commitments that we have for this coming year based on the 5 smooth stones that are in our garden. They are hope, joy, courage, love, and justice. We ask you if you would like to also make a water offering. To do so, there are jars here available for you if you would like. Thank you all for coming. You are welcome to come up if you would like.
A special thanks to Peter Grace, who sings the song Ripple by the Grateful Dead.
If my words did glow.
Thank you all for coming. Before you leave, be sure to check out the rest of our outdoor sanctuary. We have a lovely butterfly garden near the social hall kitchen, a memorial garden honoring our loved ones who have passed, as well as gardens in front of the Reed Street building and east of our forum room. Speaking of the forum room, step to the Reed Street side and see the 2 majestic palms donated by Joe and housed in pots designed by Joe, which match our fabulous Hope Fountain.